Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please write me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding this video or to any other video that I have posted in the past. If you have any video that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And now today's video is a good example that is a request by a viewer. He wrote to me and asked me whether I can create a simple Mongolian beef dish. He said that he have looked at recipes online, and many of them are too complicated and takes way too long, and he want to have a simple recipe that will only take about 5 minutes. And he knows that I would like to make things simple, and he gave me this request. Now, I love Mongolian beef, but I don't eat beef very much. So I have purchased some beef specifically to do this demonstration. The cut I choose to do this stir frying is top sirloin steak. I choose it because it is on sale, since you can actually select almost any cut that you would like. Some cut is preferred over the others, but if you make adjustment accordingly, almost all of them will work. Prepping the beef is important. As my friend Jorge once said to me, it is more important to slice the beef properly than you are cooking it. The way to slice the beef is that you should slice it across the grain rather than along the grain. This will provide the beef better texture when you stir fry them, and consequently they will be more tender. If you slice along the grain, they tend to be more tough. The thickness of the slice is also very important. They should be thin, but they should not be paper thin either, because if they are too thin, they will cook too quickly and therefore they will become tough. Of course, if they are too thick, they will also be tough as well. The size and as well as the thickness I'm cutting showing here is about just right. Using the right knife to slice them also very important. A knife should be sharp enough that you can easily slice through them, and I find that the best knife for slicing beef and chicken is ceramic knife. Now, ceramic knife has a great property is that they stay sharp for a long time. For example, you can use a ceramic knife for over 2 or 3 years without ever have to sharpening them. And of course, sharpening ceramic knife is a bit more challenging. Here's a video that I have regarding ceramic knife. You can take a look. Now, after I slice the beef, I use some for the meal that I'm going to cook in this demonstration. I store the rest in 8-ounce portions in Ziploc sandwich bag. I flatten them as much as possible because this is the best way for me to thaw them out when I am ready to use them. And they freeze really well. When you store in this version, this will give them maximum surface area. So you can thaw them out in a bowl of lukewarm water in about 10 minutes. In this way, you don't need to use a microwave oven to thaw them out. Using this method, you don't have to worry about them to being affected if you thaw them out in a microwave oven. And you can go from a freezer to the wok in 10 minutes. I cook this dish in my Cuisina 14-inch stainless steel wok, and you can take a look at this video why I choose this wok as my everyday wok. I heat the wok up as hot as possible because when I add the oil to the wok, you notice that the oil heated up almost immediately and it's actually start to smoke right away. This will allow me to have the wok as hot as possible because when I add the beef to the wok, I want the heat to sear the beef immediately. This is really important to cook beef that is both tender and have searing on the outside. I do not marinate the beef with anything because I want the beef has its natural flavor, which I really enjoy. The beef cooks extremely quickly. This is about 50% done. Next, I add some poblano pepper to the wok. Now, adding the pepper at this point is important because the pepper will modulate the temperature of the beef, so the beef will not be overcooked. And now I continue to stir fry to cook the beef to approximately about medium rare. Timing is absolutely essential when it comes to cooked beef. Next, I add some scallion that has been cut into thin strips. The scallion combination with the beef is a typical signature of Mongolian beef. By this point, the dish is almost done. I use a glass-top electric stove, so I actually turn off the stove at this point, although I will still have heat coming from the electric stove. Adding the portobello mushroom right at the end so that I will not overcook them. Adding the portobello mushroom toward the end is a good example of sequential cooking. Whatever that you want to cook least, you add it toward the end. I also add some cashew nut. These are roasted cashew nut. I add them right toward the end as well. These are roasted cashew nuts without salt. By adding them toward the end, I will be able to retain the crispy texture of the cashew nut. Stir-frying beef is both challenging as well as rewarding at the same time because beef cooks very quickly. And also you can cook beef to different doneness. You can cook it into rare, medium rare, or well done, so you can have full control of the texture of the beef. And for this dish, I'm going to flavor it with a combination of about 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce with 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce. This will give the dish a light teriyaki flavor, which is very typical of a Mongolian beef. The final ingredients I'm going to add is some cherry tomatoes that comes from my wife's garden. Again, it's totally optional. If you don't have cherry tomatoes, you can add some sliced tomato if you would like. But I will add them way at the end because you do not want to cook the tomato too much. So I'm going to add a little bit more scallion. And with a quick few stir, the dish is done. As you can see, it is very simple, no complications at all. Everything in this stir-frying dish is very similar to other stir-frying dishes that you might have done in the past. The important thing when it comes to beef is to control the texture of the beef. You want to cook it just right so that the texture will be nice and moist and juicy, because you can overcook beef and they become tough and stringy. In this dish, the beef cook, in my opinion, is just perfect. For this dish, I cook the beef to the doneness somewhere between medium rare and medium. This is the way how I like it. Now you can use other cut to cook this dish. Ribeye is a very nice cut to use. It's a bit more fat. Another cut is excellent. It's a flank steak, which is very commonly used in fajita, and it's actually cooked in a very similar way. Of course, the other cuts you can also use are like New York strip or even tenderloin, but those cuts are more expensive. And personally, I don't think they are actually that much better. So this actually works well for me. And again, as I have mentioned earlier, I do not marinate the beef, and sometimes people do. And in Chinese restaurant, they often marinate the beef with baking soda, because baking soda works as a tenderizer. It makes the beef a bit more tender. And it does work. However, I do not like the flavor of the baking soda. It makes the beef kind of taste unusual. And as my wife would say, it tastes funny. So it is better to retain the natural flavor of the beef and to use it the way exactly as it is. I think you will enjoy it far more. This dish is very simple and quick and easy to cook. I'm going to have the recipe available below the video so you can use it as a reference. Again, I recommend you make changes, adjustments based on the ingredients that you're going to add. Make sure you have scallion. That is the ultimate key. The dish that I demonstrate on the video is what I cook every day, and this is what I eat. I want to use this as a way to demonstrate to you that using my fast cooking system, you can cook a meal from scratch using all fresh ingredients in 30 minutes. If you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.